When 22-year-old Elena Morris, a college senior from Redwood, Illinois, didn't come home one January evening, nobody panicked at first. She was responsible, but she also worked late shifts and occasionally stayed over with friends. By morning, her phone was still off. By afternoon, her car was found abandoned behind a shuttered gas station on County Road 17. Doors unlocked, keys missing, purse inside. Something was wrong. Her mother filed the missing persons report at 3:42 p.m. Police responded, but something about their tone felt dismissive. "She's an adult," they said. "She may have walked off." But those who knew Elena insisted she would never leave her belongings behind. The first real break came when a store owner across from the gas station checked his old, low-resolution security camera. The footage was grainy, but it showed Elena walking toward a black SUV. The driver stepped out briefly, a tall figure in a hooded jacket, before the two disappeared from frame. Police collected the footage, but strangely, they didn't release it publicly. Rumors spread fast. Why weren't authorities calling a press conference? Why wasn't the video being shared? And why, when Elena's friends began searching a wooded area near the county line, did police tell them to stand down and let officers handle it? Behind closed doors, something was off. Officers seemed to be working slower than usual, withholding updates, and refusing to answer questions. It wasn't long before residents began asking what the department didn't want them to know, because this case wasn't just another missing person. It was the beginning of a nightmare, one the police hoped no one would uncover. 5 days after Elena disappeared, 2 hunters found a tarp partially buried beneath frost-covered branches just outside Miller's Ravine. They assumed it was trash, until one man nudged it with his boot and realized what was beneath. Authorities arrived within minutes. The area was immediately blocked off. But instead of informing the public, the department released only a brief statement. An investigation is ongoing. No ID, no description, no acknowledgement that a homicide had occurred. The county sheriff denied every press request. But whispers spread. A deputy privately told a local reporter that what they found should have been on national news instantly. Another claimed a supervisor ordered them not to speak on the case under any circumstances. It wasn't long before the coroner's office leaked what police refused to say. The body was Elena Morris, and her death wasn't the result of a simple attack. It was a deliberate, slow, intentional act of torture. Police had a suspect type. Someone strong enough to restrain her, organized enough to transport her, and familiar with the remote ravine. Even worse, investigators discovered that the tarp hadn't been there long. Someone had moved her body after the search began. The community exploded in anger. Why wasn't an Amber Alert issued? Why didn't police warn women in the area? Why did they act like nothing was wrong? And most importantly, were they protecting someone? Pressure built. Protesters gathered outside the sheriff's office. Media vans lined the streets, and as the heat intensified, so did the fractures inside the department. One officer finally broke, and what he revealed changed everything. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. The breakthrough didn't come from evidence, it came from a conscience. Deputy Mark Teller, a 14-year veteran of the department, walked into a local news station and handed them a folder full of internal memos, timestamps, and emails. The documents showed that police knew Elena was in danger within the first 12 hours, but a supervisor dismissed the urgency. Worse, the black SUV had been identified on the first day, but the owner was never questioned. Why? Because the registered owner was the sheriff's nephew, a 29-year-old named Grant Fisher, previously investigated for assault a year earlier. That case mysteriously disappeared too. Mark Teller also leaked internal GPS logs showing that a patrol car had been parked less than 200 feet from Miller's Ravine the day before Elena's body was found. Yet officers reported no visible disturbances. The station released the information that same evening. Within hours, the story went national. The sheriff's office claimed Teller misinterpreted the documents, but public trust was gone. Crowds demanded the sheriff's resignation. State investigators were sent in. And suddenly, Records that were previously unavailable were being handed over. The SUV was seized. Fisher was brought in for questioning, and detectives uncovered Elena's phone, dumped behind Fisher's workplace. The data recovered was enough to charge him. But the most damning evidence wasn't digital. It came from a neighbor who lived across from Fisher. She told investigators she heard screams coming from his garage the night Elena disappeared. And when she called police, an officer told her, "We're aware. Do not interfere." Someone had protected him. Now the cover-up was unraveling. By the time Grant Fisher's trial began, the case had become one of the most watched murder proceedings in the country. Protesters filled the courthouse steps every day. News crews camped outside. Documentarians lined up for interviews. The public wanted answers and accountability. The prosecution revealed a timeline constructed from GPS data, surveillance footage, text message logs, and forensic evidence from Fisher's garage. What they outlined was horrifying. A premeditated kidnapping, prolonged torture, and deliberate concealment. This was first-degree murder, planned and executed with chilling precision. But the real shock came when prosecutors introduced evidence about the police department's involvement. Internal messages showed supervisors instructing officers to delay specific searches, avoid questioning Fisher, and limit communication with press until cleared by office. The courtroom erupted. The judge demanded silence. One officer even testified that the sheriff explicitly ordered him to leave Fisher alone, because family matters shouldn't become headlines. The defense tried to argue that Fisher acted alone, and the department simply made procedural mistakes. But it wasn't enough. The jury saw through it. After 8 hours of deliberation, the verdict was announced. Guilty of first-degree murder. Guilty of kidnapping. Guilty of evidence tampering. As for the sheriff and involved officers, they were removed from duty, federally investigated, and charged with obstruction. The truth was now public. Elena didn't just fall victim to a murderer. She fell victim to a system that protected him. Elena's family will never forget her final hours, but they refused to let her legacy be defined by tragedy. In the months after the verdict, her mother launched the Elena Morris Foundation, dedicated to protecting at-risk women, reforming missing persons response protocols, and holding law enforcement accountable across the United States. The case led to statewide reforms, new oversight boards, and a mandatory transparency initiative requiring faster public alerts in missing person investigations. Fisher received life without parole. The sheriff and involved officers faced their own trials, with several pleading guilty to obstruction. But the impact reached far beyond Illinois. National conversations erupted about police cover-ups, internal corruption, and the countless cases in which victims, especially women, weren't taken seriously until it was too late. Elena became a symbol in rallies, documentaries, college discussions, and advocacy groups. Her face appeared on murals with the words, "She deserved protection. She deserved truth. She deserved life." For many, this case serves as a chilling reminder. Sometimes the danger isn't just the killer. Sometimes it's the system that shields them. And that is why Elena's story continues to go viral, because people are demanding change, demanding accountability, and refusing to let her story be buried the way officials once tried to bury the truth. Her story is a warning. Her story is a legacy. Her story is a spark for reform. And now, through this video, you're helping make sure her voice is never silenced again.